It's
and
super
it usually
quick.
takes several days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's back to the
It
colic.
is
Like
very painful.
if if I have a horse colic, and it might be because I'm a horse trainer, right? Nobody except for me and that customer are going to know. And I've only had it happen twice in 7 years of doing this, and probably 500-600 head of horses ridden. Like, first thing I do is I will
Do you
treat
add
it
water?
as best I can in the moment, and I will go ahead and give them Banamine, and I will start walking them. While I'm walking them, I'm calling the customer and saying, "Hey, I'm about to call the vet if I need to for this colic." Now, most of the time, I say most of the time, I haven't had to call a vet for colic yet, but I'm always going to call the customer and say, "Hey, just so you're aware, your horse is colicking right now. I will call the vet if I need to. Do I have your permission?" And I'm going to call them even if I don't have their permission.
Well, and
But
that makes sense too, because that's your profession, that's your client. Like for a personal horse, it's one thing. I don't
but
think I would
also,
post a client horse colicking.
also to me, like when it's stupid of him to put it specifically, because this whole thing is I know more than y'all for him. And he's proven he doesn't know more than us. And then he posts this saying colic just fucking happens. You can't do anything to prevent it. You can do a lot to prevent it.
Yeah.
Like
You do a
basic.
lot to prevent it. Like, yes, it does just happen because horses are weird.
Sometimes, yeah.
That's fair, but it's significantly rare.
You can very much prevent it. And so this is for some of the people in the comments, because you can let a horse roll all the way from Ohio to Texas while they're colicking. The reason there are places a vet doesn't like them to roll in a situation they're going to get caught up on something or cast. Rolling does not cause displacement of the bowel, twisting of the bowel. It's them trying to fix their guts. And they just know they hurt. They're trying to make their belly feel better, no matter what colic it is. Mm-hmm. Usually in patch, especially, they like them to be walked because they want the body working and moving to try and keep the bowels moving. Yeah. But they can roll. Flow. They 100% can roll. Yeah. It's having a safe place to roll.
Yeah, they're fine rolling. Yes. They're not going to mess anything up. Roll. All that stuff is connected by collagen. It's not coming loose easy. But
yep. So basically, they just don't like a horse rolling where they're going to hurt themselves or get cast, because that's going to make the situation worse. What causes displacement and gut twisting is actually the inflammation caused by the colic itself, and it's going to happen whether they roll or not.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing too is, like, if I ever have a horse colic, which is very rare, because it's rare for me, because basic horse care will basically do a lot to prevent colic. Feeding on a schedule. Like it's simple shit. Keeping them hydrated, giving them the same ration daily, and if you make a change, doing it gradually. Like, it's not hard to keep a horse from colicking. Well, but if they do colic, I'm not leaving them to just be chill by themselves or letting them work anymore at all.
Yeah.
Until I see 2 poops on the ground. Like, they better pass twice so I know that gut is working, and they better be cool with going back to hay. And I will stay. I've stayed out of the barn until 3 a.m. one time. Like, the horse acted colicky at 6, and I stayed out there till 3 just to make sure that nothing weird was going on by the time I left, because I wasn't going to go to sleep unless.
When my mare colicked at that show, and it was just a gas colic, but I mean, she was frantic. She does not paw, ever. She was pawing manure in her stall, throwing it all around. She was scared. Basically, she was terrified, running around her stall, slamming into the corners, sweating profusely because she was stressed and scared. I knew specifically it was colic. So when she tied up, when she was laying on the ground, once she had calmed down and things started to pass, my horse will eat thistles. Like, she loves to eat. She's on the ground going like, oh,
yeah,
I'm going to eat this grass because I'm here. I tried to give her a cookie, be like, okay, I gave her Banamine, but I want to make sure. And she didn't even she went, and I was like, definitely colic with her. What kind, I don't know. And if within an hour of administering this Banamine, if she does not get better or declines, I'm calling the vet out. Like that's what's going to happen.
But she's also a professional. Like,
But
she knows
I-
what she's
I
doing.
work in the
alfalfa is hay.
I wouldn't.
Well, alfalfa is technically a legume. It's technically not a grass hay, but it works the same essentially with a higher protein content as
I
an
guess you could
actual
also
grass.
do like pellets and cubes and stuff. What I
So,
was going to say
the
too
thing
is
too-
that
And
when it
it's
comes to
higher
preventing
protein
colic,
and
sometimes
higher
it's just
calcium.
knowing the signs.
Yeah,
Like
that's a
just
big
knowing
part of
the
it.
signs. And
Well, and
A big
Rusty,
part of preventing colic is give your horse as much water as they want to drink and you let them graze, whether it be
Yeah.
hay, pasture,
Yep.
or otherwise. And if they can't graze because they're a senior, you give them a complete feed to help keep things moving through their stomach, or soak pellets or cubes, or make a mash with chopped. You have to keep their system moving.
And
Yeah.
and Rusty, you're absolutely right. Like you are able to handle that because you are a trained professional in veterinary care.
Yeah.
And I give myself just a little bit of a pass. I'm not a vet. I'm not a vet tech, but
But
having
you put
worked
your
in the
hands on a
industry
lot
in
of
show
horses.
barns, yeah, and having worked in the industry in a lot of show barns where you have to know that preventative care or that care that addresses something like that, you start figuring out and learning things from the vets that come out to address things.